Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am not going to mess around. I am not going to waste any more time. I am just going to get on with showing you this new foundation by NYX. How exciting. I have seen this everywhere for the longest time. We've only just got our hands on it here in the UK. It is called the Can't Stop, Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. Before I go on and talk about it, review it, tell you my thoughts and all of that stuff, I just want to get it on and show you what the shade looks like on me. Let's get it on. So I have this in the shade Classic Tan. This is the one that I feel is the most accurate shade for me. There is another shade called Natural Tan, which could possibly work for me as well, but I felt like Classic Tan was far more spot on. I have actually already primed my skin with the Marc Jacobs Coconut Primer, just because as this is a full coverage and matte foundation, I need something that is going to hydrate my skin a little bit. And this foundation does have its own blender sponge. I believe you have to buy it separately, but I prefer using a damp beauty blender sponge over that one, just because I feel like that's a bit more firm, and really nothing beats a beauty blender. I'm just going to blend this all out by bouncing the foundation around my face. And I feel like when I use the beauty blender sponge, it blends the foundation out so much nicer than the actual NYX sponge. And as you can see already, that is such a perfect match. It's honestly so good. I'm gonna try and work quite quickly with this foundation, just because I can see it's drying up already. It's not really got a lot of playtime. It's super matte, so you've got to work quickly with it, which is also why using a damp beauty blender sponge is best to apply it. Normally, you know, I'm happy using brushes, but in this case, because it's such a matte foundation, I wanted to use a damp beauty blender sponge. So far, this is what the foundation looks like. You can still see my scarring through the foundation. You can still see my skin and pores. I wouldn't say instantly it's a full coverage foundation, even though it claims to be full coverage from the get-go. As you can see, guys, you can still very much see my skin. So I'm gonna go in with another layer of this foundation and blend it out, just to show you what it's like when it's built up. That doesn't mean it's a bad foundation if I need to build it up. It's a totally normal thing. A lot of medium to full coverage foundations do need 2 layers. I tend to always go in with 2 layers of foundation, so it's nothing new or different for me, so it's all good. I feel like this foundation does oxidize slightly. Like, as you can see, like when I put it on to my face, it's a little bit lighter, and then as I blend it out and it settles, it does get a little touch bit darker. I still really like the shade. I still feel like the shade matches me really, really well. Okay guys, so this is what it looks like after 2 layers of foundation. I like the shade still. I feel like it's warmed up slightly further, but it's nothing bad, nothing I can't work with. In some areas of my skin, it does look quite dry, and it does look a little bit cakey and powdery for sure. I don't know if you can see that, but right here, it looks super dry, and it's making my skin look even more dry. Yeah, it's definitely clinging to some dry patches around here. Yeah, I'm gonna go and put the rest of my makeup on. So that's gonna take me about another hour or so, and then I will come back to you with the review, and of course at that point show you what the foundation is looking like. Okay guys, I'm not gonna lie, I think it's been about 2 hours, not 1 hour, because I've just had stuff to do in between. This is where we are at with the foundation. So I just wanna show you what it's like now with the makeup all done, and after a couple of hours. You can see it's quite dry here where I do have drier skin, and it's getting wrinkly in the line here. And I have to say, yesterday when I wore it, it was really bad. Like after a few hours, that line was, you know, it was bad. Also, it's sitting in the lines on my head, making me look far more older than I am. I mean, I know, okay, I'm 27, aging is coming upon me. It's happening. It is happening. It never normally looks like that. You know, I can wear other foundations and do stuff, and it doesn't look as like wrinkly as that. And then you can also really see the texture on my skin with this foundation. It doesn't make me look smooth, you know. Also, I found that when I was applying my cream contour, I had to work really, really quickly with my cream contour, which is really nice and creamy, but because the foundation is so matte, it dried out the cream contour really quickly as well. That's just how the foundation is looking and how I feel about it right now. But let me tell you a bit about it. So first of all, this foundation is priced at £15, and £15 for a drugstore foundation I feel is slightly a little bit too expensive. I feel like drugstore foundations should be max £12.50, 13 really if you're pushing it. I'm not sure I've ever spent £15 on a drugstore foundation, considering MAC foundations start from like £21, £22, so you're not far off from spending a little bit extra and then you've gone into a different realm of makeup, you know? Does that make sense? But for £15, you do get the foundation coming in a glass bottle, which obviously gives it a bit more of a luxury, a bit more higher end feel. And this foundation also comes with a nice pump. As you can see here, the pump is actually really nice and smooth and works brilliantly. I can understand a little bit why it might be £15, but also at the same time, I just think you're a drugstore, NYX, and you do such good affordable products. This, I feel, is just a bit pricey. You are getting 30 mils of foundation as well, so that's just the standard amount of foundation that you would normally get. So that is price, packaging, and the amount of product out of the way. Moving on from that, this foundation has come out in 45 shades, which honestly, hats off to you, NYX. You have absolutely smashed it when it comes to the shade range. I think that is so incredible for a drugstore brand to do, and why the hell not? Why hasn't this been happening any sooner? And I know that NYX is probably one of, I'm not going to say the only, but one of the brands that has tried to be more inclusive and have a wider shade range, because they did that with their drop foundation as well. That was quite a wide shade range also, but this, they've really made the effort, which is so lovely to see. They sent me this, and as you can see, like, look how many shades of foundation there are. Like, what? And I love that they've like broken it down to cool undertones, warm undertones, and neutral. Honestly, I can't say this enough, but it is such a good effort, and I just love to see it happening. What a time to be alive, eh? I really hope that other drugstore brands pick up on this and get their acts together, and also start bringing out wider shade ranges with different undertones other than bloody pink. Okay, I actually have a full video on helping you how to figure out your undertones. So if you want to know how to figure out your undertone, then click the link now. I will attach it to this video for you. But yeah, I can help you with that, girl. But anyway, 45 shades of this foundation. So just to go over some of the claims of this foundation, it is a foundation that doesn't transfer. It delivers a matte coverage that stays true for up to 24 hours. This foundation is waterproof, non-comedogenic, so it doesn't block your pores basically. It's suitable for normal, oily, combination, and sensitive skin types. So from what I'm taking from that last bit, they don't think it's suitable for a drier skin. And I have to say, if you've got dry skin, girl, avoid this foundation. Really, don't do it. So I just want to go back to some of those claims. And as for it being a foundation that doesn't transfer, I actually don't think it does. I feel like it's a foundation that actually sets really quickly, and it's definitely not tacky whatsoever. I almost feel like this foundation is a smooth, creamy foundation that kind of sets to a powder, which is why I feel like some areas look really powdery, and that was before I'd even powdered, and that's why some areas look a little bit cakey as well. I just feel like it sets so matte that it looks powdery. If you have like mega oily skin, I think this would work much better for you, but for me, where I have combination skin, so I'm oily in my T-zone, I feel like it was okay there, but over here where I'm slightly more normal to dry, I wouldn't say I'm completely dry, it really looks cakey and powdery. In regards to the claim of it lasting for up to 24 hours, that's a mad claim, and that is mad for a foundation to even last that long. Like, damn, who the hell is wearing their foundation for 24 hours? Girl, please wash your face and go to bed. I personally feel like I wouldn't actually want to keep this foundation on for 24 hours just because it is so matte that I don't feel like my skin is feeling light and fresh. It's not heavy, but it's definitely not feeling as light and fresh as maybe a different foundation, so I wouldn't want to keep this on for 24 hours. In regards to how long it actually lasts, I clearly have not tried it for 24 hours, but I have tried this foundation for 12 hours, and within 12 hours, I must say, I did still get oily around my nose, where I always get oily. The foundation did kind of separate and come off a little bit around my nose and definitely around my mouth, and like I said, this line, my laugh line, the foundation really had sat in there, opened that line up, and created something that looked like the parting in the Red Sea, okay? Don't think it would last a full 24 hours if I'm I'm honest with you. I think it's great for 8 to 10 hours. All in all, guys, I think this foundation is probably perfect for someone with an extremely oily skin, maybe. And if you like your skin to look mega matte, like powdered kind of matte, then this is the foundation for you. I think the foundation goes on really nice and smoothly. 100% needs to be applied with a damp sponge. I also think this foundation would probably work really nicely mixed in with like a super dewy foundation, just to give it like a nice bit of balance. All in all, I do like this foundation. I just feel like there are ways to wear it and times to wear it. So guys, I hope you found this video helpful. I'd love to know if you've tried this foundation already. What are your thoughts? Does anyone think or feel the same way as me? Have you made this foundation work for you? Let me know in the comment section down below. Give this video a big thumbs up. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more. I'd really appreciate it. Follow me on the gram. This look is actually going to be on the gram, so make sure you don't miss it. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah! Bye!